A European democracy under attack, an ally of NATO invaded by Russia. As Moscow's troops advanced on Kyiv, Ukraine's president gave a televised address Friday.
The world's most powerful forces are watching from afar. Did yesterday's sanctions convince Russia? We hear in our sky and see on our earth that this is not enough.
Europe, the United States, Canada, Japan and Australia have announced wide-ranging sanctions against Russia aimed at blocking its banks from accessing euros and dollars and freezing the Kremlin out of Western financial markets. Russia's currency hit an all-time low against the dollar. Its stock market plunged 40%. But will these measures be enough to change Putin's mind?
If we look at Putin's actions so far and the kind of sort of decision-making that we can analyze, then he always put a higher priority to security considerations than he put to economic considerations.
Ukraine wants direct military support, which NATO has explicitly ruled out.
British and NATO troops should not, must not play an active role in Ukraine.
NATO heads of state met virtually Friday in a rare emergency summit, joined by non-NATO allies Sweden and Finland. For the first time ever, members triggered NATO's Rapid Response Force, enabling the quick deployment of troops and armour to defend the alliance.
NATO allies and the European Union have already introduced significant sanctions. And many of our partners around the globe have joined us. We must stand ready to do more, even if it means we have to pay a price, because we are in this for the long haul.
Outside NATO headquarters in Brussels, demonstrators called for tougher action.
My message is we need help. We're fighting for the whole democratic world here. If we don't stop them in Ukraine, they will go next to European Union.
Ukraine's armed forces have slowed the Russian advance, aided by weapons from Western allies, including the United States and Britain. But analysts say there is a limit to the military aid that the West can deliver.
You cannot just, deliver arms, especially when it's like complicated military systems, and say, here it is, and you do with it whatever you like. You do have to train people, and we may be beyond that stage already.
Anger at Russia's actions and frustration at the Western response have triggered protests in cities across the world, from London to Pretoria, Amman to Buenos Aires. And in Russia itself, thousands of people have been arrested following anti-war protests. Western allies are showing solidarity with Ukraine. Landmarks lit up in yellow and blue. Symbolic gestures, but Ukraine says it needs weapons, not words. Henry Ridgwell for VOA News, London.